was the man Jesus called the Rock? In today's video, we explore the life and legacy of Apostle Peter, from an ordinary fisherman to one of the most prominent leaders in the early church. Peter's original name was Simon, son of Jonah. He worked as a fisherman in Bethsaida and lived in Capernaum. When Jesus called him, he gave Simon a new name, Peter, meaning rock, a name that would foreshadow his future role in the church. Peter's first encounter with Jesus was unforgettable. In Matthew chapter 4, verses 18 to 20, Jesus saw Simon and his brother Andrew casting nets. He said, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." And they left everything. In Luke chapter 5, verses 1 to 11, a deeper moment is recounted. After a miraculous catch of fish, Peter fell at Jesus' feet, saying, "Depart from me, for I am a sinful man." But Jesus called him to something greater. Peter is the most frequently mentioned apostle in the New Testament, over 190 times. He's also referred to as Simon, Simon Peter, and Cephas. His visibility shows his pivotal role. Peter wasn't just one of the 12. He was part of Jesus' inner circle alongside James and John. These three were present during some of the most intimate and miraculous moments in Jesus' ministry. Peter witnessed the transfiguration on the mountain, where Jesus' divine glory was revealed. The unforgettable moment when he walked on water toward Jesus, showcasing both bold faith and human doubt. The healing of Jairus' daughter, where Jesus demonstrated his power over death. The deep sorrow of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane just before his arrest. Yet in one of the most dramatic moments of correction, when Peter rebuked Jesus, saying, "Never, Lord," he said, "this shall never happen to you." Peter was rebuked by Jesus with the words, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns, for misunderstanding God's plan of salvation." These moments show Peter's closeness to Christ, how deeply he was included, how much he saw, and how powerfully he was shaped. His journey reminds us that God invites us near, not because we're perfect, but because he's forming us for a purpose. Peter was bold. In Matthew chapter 16, verse 16, he declared, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." But not long after, Jesus predicted Peter's denial in Luke chapter 22, verses 30 to 34. Despite boasting his loyalty, Peter denied Jesus 3 times on the night of his arrest. When he heard the rooster crow, he wept bitterly. After his resurrection, Jesus appeared to Peter and restored him, "Feed my sheep." Peter then emerged as a bold leader. He preached at Pentecost, healed the lame, evangelized to Cornelius, was imprisoned and miraculously freed, testified at the Jerusalem Council. Peter was considered to be brave, vocal, and passionate. He said to Jesus, "You have the words of eternal life." But also questioned Jesus during foot washing, asked, "Who touched me?" when Jesus felt power go out, misunderstood Christ's mission, drew a sword impulsively in Gethsemane. Peter's strengths were powerful, his weaknesses were human, and God used both. Even after leading the church, Peter wasn't perfect. In Galatians chapter 22, verses 11 to 14, Paul publicly rebuked him for hypocrisy toward Gentiles. This reminds us that integrity and growth are continual, even for spiritual giants. Jesus foretold Peter's death in John chapter 21, verses 18 to 19. "When you are old, someone else will stretch out your hands." Peter later wrote in 2 Peter chapter 1, verses 13 to 15 that he knew his time was near. Some historical sources, like Clement of Rome in 96 AD, wrote that Peter, martyred after enduring many hardships, entered into glory. Tertullian at 200 AD says Peter was crucified in Rome under Nero. Origen quoted that Peter requested crucifixion head downwards. Eusebius confirms crucifixion under Nero, upside down at Peter's request. Peter of Alexandria affirms Peter crucified in Rome, and Jerome adds motive, Peter felt unworthy to die like Jesus. Peter's life is a testimony of transformation, from denying Christ to boldly proclaiming him. His writings in the 1st and 2nd Peter encourage believers under persecution. He is considered the foundational rock of the early church, and it's believed that his tomb lies beneath St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. Who was the man Jesus called the Rock? In this video, we followed the remarkable journey of Apostle Peter, from an ordinary fisherman named Simon to the bold and passionate leader Jesus called the Rock. We explored key moments in Peter's life, His call to discipleship was when he left everything to follow Jesus. His role in Jesus' inner circle witnessed miracles and divine moments, his bold confession of faith as well as his humbling denial, his powerful restoration by Jesus after the resurrection, and his fearless leadership in the early church despite human flaws. Peter was not perfect, but that's what makes his story so powerful. He was shaped by both faith and failure, and God used it all to build the foundation of the church. His legacy reminds us that God calls the ordinary to do the extraordinary. If Peter's transformation inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us in the next episode as we uncover the life of his brother, Apostle Andrew. Let Peter's journey remind you, no matter your past, God can still write a powerful future.